Alright, yeah. As he would put deku on it and he would call the cops. As he would tell the cops that somebody made an assault on the Linkway clan. As the cops in the hero system is pretty mad since the Linkway was working with the heroes, and you know um he would take Deku to his lab. As this guy was not the brightest berry, not the brightest berry, if you know what I mean. As he would start to experiment on Deku with these cybernetics that he found, and he would end up making Deku a new body. No, his body do not look like freaking this. It looks like a human body, but how Frost's arm can be attached in her head. Yeah, same thing with Deku. He has new eyes, and the cybernetic eyes of his, grants him the ability to zoom in his eyesight times 50. His arms can also rotate, and so can his upper torso. Yeah. As the guy would kind of mess with Deku a bit, actually, putting something the side of Deku that, allows him to control him. As this guy, kind of works for All For One, but he was friends with a Linkway person, but uh, like I said, he wasn't the sweetest berry. As this man would, bring a brainwashed Deku to All For One, as All For One would let say, who is this? As he would ask Doctor Ujiko. I'm gonna say, yeah, that was Doctor Ujiko. As he says, well, I found this Linkway still alive, and I thought I would experiment on him a bit, and it seems like he was the son of the strongest wind user and the strongest ice user, so he will be perfect for your army, master. As one says, perfect, perfect. This is a perfect weapon to defeat All Might. As All For One says, so how do you control it? Just command what we like to call it. As All For One says, how about Frost? As he says, well, just command Frost to do anything that you want him to do, and he'll do it. As he says, perfect. Well, get him a suit made and a mask. He'll be my little assassin from now on. As if you guys played a game, then you know what suit this is, but it's basically, hold on. Alright, so it's called the Fast Ice suit, and basically it's like a white suit with like blue in it, and he has the diamond teeth mask and the fast ice suit. If you play the game, then you know exactly which ones I'm talking about. Talking about. So yeah. Sorry, my phone won't charge, but yeah, he has those suits and those masks, and they do work together with his cybernetic parts, and they also have Deku sword with a mask. That energy core, that was also made for Deku since he's kind of like a smart suit, since it needs to, adapt with his cybernetics. So yeah. So we would skip through Deku's first mission. It would be to take out a politician as Deku would ice teleport or Terminator onto the roof as the Deku would use his sword and he would make it spin like a saw blade, cutting open the roof as he would drop down into the roof as off one says kill everybody there except for innocent people. As there's still some like bystanders, I guess you would say, like there's people that's not armed, so basically not to kill them. As Deku's there as the people there would start to fire at him as he would use his eyes to block block them out and use uses one to control the sword and slice up the first guy. Then he'll run towards this other guy shooting at him, dodging the bullets. He'll grab him by the neck as he would, use his ice drill it through him, then take another one, drilling it through his chest, rotating his hand. He would take them out as they'll, morph back into his regular hand as he would go down, taking out everybody with his sword and making some kunais out of ice as he would, make it to where the politician is underneath the basement as like under the ground since he was moved there after one of the guys radioed in saying there's somebody in it and then they heard blood gushing as Deku would make it there as he would see this big buff dude as as the guy would charge at him as Deku would dodge as Deku would, use his ice core to freeze him as he'll slowly start to unfreeze as Deku would float up, take his ice drill it through his head, take a second drilling it into his stomach, and his guts will fall out as Deku would take his energy core out, putting it into the hole, as the guy would explode, making this beautiful ice statue. If you guys know what I'm talking about, then you do. That's the fatality. Yeah. But anyways, Deku would turn towards a politician as the politician would say, please spare me. What do you want? Money? Women? Please. As Deku would just take his sword and slice the guy's head off. As then he would, ice teleport back. As off one says, good job, Frost. Now get cleaned up and go to your room and go to sleep. I did say that Deku was like 10, right? So yeah, as Deku would obey now. Every day, the brainwashing gets weaker and weaker. Now, Dr. Uchiko nor does all for one notice. So we will skip 2 to 3 years as Deku is starting to get his memories back as he knows his clan was wiped out and he knows that he's doing all of this murdering against his will. As you already know, Heroes is after him as Deku would sometimes leave little hints behind, but half of him will still be controlled, but the other half wants to disobey. You know, as he would sometimes just write numbers and letters down here. And when the heroes would go back to check the feed, they seen something that was a bit crazy, and Deku didn't even realize this, but he was showing mercy. Like he was hesitant to killing them, as somebody thinks, wait, do he even want to kill them? It's like he don't even want to. As there's one guy bursts in, as All Might has still been on All For One's tail, as this time, the fight between All Might and All For One didn't happen yet. So yeah, as this guy bursts in saying, "Oh my, we got the address. It seems like those letters. I mean, we know where his hideout is." As All Might says, "Who? All For One. Those letters that the Frost was leaving behind seem to be the missing letters to the coordinates that we needed." As he's like, why was he helping us? And how did he know the exact ones we were missing? He probably didn't. He was just going off of a guess. Maybe he didn't even know what he was doing, but thanks to him, we know where All For One is. As All Might says, get ready for an attack. We'll raid his base and take out All For One. As they like, yes sir. As they like gather some heroes. As Deku would be getting back, as he'll go to sleep. As Deku would be woken up by All For One saying, "Kid, protect me with everything you have." As Deku has to obey since he's linked to All For One. As Deku would walk in front, seeing that half the building is destroyed. As Deku would say, "Yes, master." As he would basically walk around with All For One, making sure All For One don't get hurt, taking out heroes in the process. As Deku, they would be in the woods, as All For One and Deku would be confronted by All Might and Endeavor. As All For One say, "All Might, you see this little experiment of mine? He will obey anything I say. He is a perfect weapon to end you, All Might." As All Might says, so Frost was an experiment, was he? As All For One says, Frost, attack him, kill All Might. As Frost says, yes, master. As he would charge towards All Might, as All Might just charges towards All For One, as Endeavor grabs Frost and starts to fight him. As Deku will start to fight in Endeavor. As Endeavor would try to shoot a fireball towards Deku, as Deku would use his wind to push it out the way. As yeah, I'm not doing no freaking Naruto logic, no. But anyways, as Deku would use his wind to blow out the fire, as Endeavor would try to get into a battle with Deku. As Endeavor like, "Kid, you didn't want to do this, didn't you?" Now, how do they know that he's a kid? You can tell he looks no older than 13. As Deku wants to say, as he said, as Deku starts to say no, as he says yes, as All Might and Endeavor starts to switch places when All Might got tired. As they're just going back and forth, taunting Deku and fighting All Might. As Deku starts to break down, as Deku kind of powers off as he falls backwards. As his energy core turns off. As All Might says, "Wait, is he dead?" As that's when All For One charges him in the gut really hard, giving him his injury as he would try to grab Deku as Endeavor would blast him with a giant heat blast, sending him flying as Endeavor would pick up Deku as he would put All Might on his back as he would jump away while All For One's trying to catch up as they would lose All For One as Deku Deku would be taken to a doctor's. He was wrong with him as the doctor says, but it seems like between you guys taunting him and his orders from all for one made him, I guess, short circuit. We just gotta give him a bit of a jolt as Deku, and you're wondering how would Deku be able to use his god powers that Fujin gave him? Well, like I said, they're god powers, so even if he's a half cyborg, he'll still be able to use them. Now there will be that little bit of lightning, so yeah. I just like how cool it looks. That's the only reason why I gave Deku the god powers. All right, as the guy would hook him up to some electricity as Deku would start to power up as Deku will wake up, and when they both gave him the electricity, they hooked it up to his brain, destroying the chip that was brainwashing him as it would eject out of him as All Might would catch it as he would look as it would be a bit burned, but it says washing chip as All Might was showing everything. So it seems like the kid was brainwashed as they still lock him up and start to interrogate him as they would say, "Kid, do you know that you were brainwashed?" As Deku says, "Well, I didn't know that I was brainwashed, but I knew that I was doing all of this stuff against my own will." As they're like, "How are you this robot?" As Deku says, "I was experimented on after being badly injured during my clan's massacre. I was found by Dr. Uchiko and he experimented on me." As they're like, "What do you mean your clan massacre?" As Deku says, "I am the son of Inko Shigure and Hasashi Midoriya from the Hashira and Linkway clan," as they say. "So you're the sole survivor of the Linkway massacre?" As Deku says, "Yes, I am." As Deku say, "Alright, kid, do you remember anything?" As Deku says, "Well, it seems like every day I got a tiny fragment of my memory back, but when you jolted me in injecting the chip, um, I kind of got an overload of memory, so I remember everything now, even during the massacre." And they're like, "Okay, all right, now kid, even though you was being brainwashed, you still killed all those people. So kid, we're gonna, you know, have to, put a few restrictions on you." As Deku says, "No, it's fine. I don't, I'm no." As All Might says, "No, it's fine. Let the kid go." As the police like, "Wait, what? He didn't do it with his own free will, so he cannot be charged. Let the kid go." As the police officer says, "Are you sure about this?" As All Might says, "Yes, I'm sure." As they let Deku go, as Deku will walk out, as he would have his suit in a wind dimension, as he would be walking around trying to, find something to eat since he's a bit hungry, I guess. As Deku would, find a dongo shop and purchase some dongo with some money that he had um from what All Might gave him as he would purchase the dongo and you know Deku realized that he needed some money as he would think how would he make money? He's not old enough to get a job as he would be walking for hours as he would pass this nightclub as it would say every night from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Fight Club winner $5,000 every night as the Deku says perfect Fight Club as he will walk in as it's about to start in about 30 minutes as he will see a few people just staring at him as this one guy approaches Deku saying, "Huh, kid, you really think that you can win in a fight club?" Hmm. As Deku just ignores him, walks in and sits down as that's when the fight starts. Fight starts as a few rounds go past as it's now Deku's turn as they're not allowed to use quirks, but anyways as Deku will walk up to the stage as his opponent will walk up as he's a pro boxer as the guy says, "Are you ready to meet your end, kid?" As still say fight as Deku would charge towards him as he would punch him in the face as the guy would back up as Deku would charge towards him again trying to go for a kick as the guy would dodge it, punching Deku in the stomach. Deku really isn't phased by it since his stomach is kind of cyborg parts as Deku would charge towards him again using a super fast kick, kicking him in the face as Deku would take his leg, wrap under his arm as he would take his other arm, and he would use both of his legs, kind of like sitting crisscross applesauce with the legs, wrapped around his chest as Deku would flip over, flipping the guy to the ground as Deku would grab the guy by the arm, like in a breaking it position as Deku says, "Give up." As the guy says no, as Deku breaks the guy's arm, as the guy was to stand up as he charges towards Deku with his one broken arm. Deku dodges it, kicking him in the head as Deku says, "Just give up, dude." As the guy is like fuming that Deku broke his arm as he goes to use his quirk as a strength quirk as he punches Deku. Deku will attempts to punch Deku. Deku jumps. Deku lands on his head as Deku jumps off him, kicks him in the back, taking him to the pole as Deku kicks him off as he takes the chair that was in the corner and slams it into the guy's face, knocking him out as Deku would be declared the winner as throughout the fights Deku would win or the people would just surrender. As Deku, was the victor of that night and Deku would earn $5,000 as for the next I say 2 years Deku's now 15 between he actually was enrolled in school due to the courtesy of All Might and he was also and between school and fighting Deku's living a pretty chill life. Deku's pretty set. He has him a 1 bedroom apartment, some technology. He he's like the ranked winner, and whoever is able to beat Deku or even manages to lay a punch on him wins $15 million. So yeah, he got a lot of money on his head in that in the Fight Club. So yeah. Now we're just gonna skip out another 2 years as Deku, right? He's home as he just got home from school and he's about to, start walking around, getting ready as, he's finna go to a martial arts studio as, he's cutting through a bridge as he would, be attacked by a sludge villain as the sludge villain would say, "Hey kid, give me your body." As he lunges towards Deku, and Deku just freezes him. As All Might says, "I am here." As he sees that the sludge villain was taken out. Now it's been about 3 years since All Might last seen Deku, and he looks different, so All Might didn't really notice him. But he says, "Oh kid, did you take care of this by yourself?" As Deku says, "Yes, I did, All Might." As All Might's like, "Okay, thank you very much." As All Might, breaks up the sludge villain and takes him and puts him inside of a bottle. As All Might says, "Hey kid, why do you look so familiar?" As Deku says, "Do you not remember me?" As All Might says, "No." He's like, "Frost, all for one." As All Might says, "Oh, it's you. Oh wow, man, I was just thinking about you too, 'cause in a few years, UA College is finna open up, and I was wondering, if you wanted to join since Principal Nezu, actually wants you to join." As Deku says, "Why should I?" As All Might says, "Well, you'll be able to seek revenge for your clan in the right way." As All Might knows that Deku is secretly, going on black websites, trying to get information on the people who killed his clan and buying tech and stuff to upgrade his body. As Deku says, and I know you're not gonna give up till I agree to join. As All Might says, "You're right." As Deku says, "Fine, I'll join this stupid school." As All Might says, "Good." As All Might would jump off, and there's no sludge villain with Bakugo, so yeah, Mirio ends up getting one for all. I mean, should I? Yeah, Mirio ends up getting one for all. So yeah. Now basically, I just want to skip through the 10 months of training before UA. Yeah. Right now he's 19. Deku's hair is, to his shoulders, and it's blue, and he actually did a few upgrades to his body in his suit. His arm is, attachable and detachable. He also made some, upgrades to his eyes, allowing his eyes to scan anything, and his eyes can also hack into anything. Deku also, made some changes to his energy core, allowing it to, when he, smashes it, it don't break. It'll just penetrate through the ground, releasing ice, and it don't explode. It'll just release the ice shockwave. So yeah, um, and that's pretty much it. He did a few, minor upgrades, and he's also been training and going to the Fight Club. As for the 10 months, Deku will actually be training on Dekamo Beach, and that's where he would see somebody there. As Deku knows that Dekamo Beach was dirty, and he was gonna you know train there and maybe just clean it up. As he would see somebody there, as Deku would notice who it was. It would actually be his uncle, as as his uncle was kind of in America when the Lin Kuei massacre happened. As Deku will walk up to him, as he would say, "Uncle, is that you?" As he would look, as he would say, "Oh my gosh, Izuku, that's you." As Deku says, "Kuai Li Yang, oh my gosh, you're alive." As yeah, Kuai Li Yang, or Bihan's brother, is Deku's uncle, which means Deku was related to Bihan. So yeah, as he's like, "Oh my gosh, Kuai Li Yang," as Kuai Li Yang says, "Izuku, you're alive. I thought everybody died." As Deku's like, "No, this crazy scientist saved me, but I ended up getting it experimented on." As as he's like, "Oh wow, I'm so sorry." As Deku's like, "No, don't be. I'm so glad that I could meet you, Uncle. Like it's been like 7 years since I last seen you." He's like, "Yes, it has been. Oh my gosh, we have to catch up." As Dick is like, "Yeah, we do, but I kind of got training though." As he's like, "Well, I could train you." As Dick says, "Sure." As Kuai Liang will be training Deku, as sorry, as how noob Bihan. Oh yeah, if you know that Bihan is noob and you're wondering, how he has ice power still, in this version, Bihan didn't get sent to hell since there isn't no Scorpion in this. Wait, yeah, there is Scorpion in this universe, but Bihan never, massacred the Shishiro Ryu clan. So yeah, I'm just gonna say that. As Deku would, be training with his cousin. I mean, with his uncle, as is his uncle would teach him how to use those chains that Noob has, like it's like a kunai attached to like some chains. Yeah. Quali Gang would teach him how to use those. He would teach him how to use his ice properly, and do some combat training for the next 10 months. As Quali Gang would end up going back to America with his family, as he would wish Deku good luck, and Kuai Liang would say, "I'll make sure to send you letters every week, and to call you." As Deku says, "Okay, Uncle." As they would split ways, and you know we would basically just skip to the day of the UA entrance exam. As Deku would walk in, as Deku would just be amazed by how big the building was. As Deku would walk in, and he was bumped by somebody. As Deku would start to fall, but he uses his wind to catch himself. As Uraraka was just about to catch him, but she seen that he pushed himself back up. As she says, "Oh," as there's no real you know interaction between them. As Deku would just walk off. As Deku would be getting ready to take the UA written exam. As oh yeah, Deku goes to the same school as Shota and Momo. But anyways, as Deku would take the written exam, as he would use his eyes to kind of scan everybody else's answers, and to scan the cheat sheet that the teacher has. As he would end up getting everything right. As Deku would then, wait for about another five minutes as he, got done 5 minutes early as, Deku would end up getting 87.4, like 87% on the test, and Deku would leave the room and he would wait for the preliminaries to start. Now there's no interaction between Deku and Ida since Deku was already in the front. So when President Mike, said, there's no countdown in a real battle, that's when Deku started to run as. Deku would run and run as he would see his first robot as. Deku would run, charge up to it as he would charge up a giant ice spear. And, nobody knows what Deku's quirk is since he's not allowed to, nobody's not allowed to use their quirk outside of school. Like, outside of school, like UA school as, he would charge up a giant ice spear as he would shoot it as it would pierce through the three-pointer as he would use his eyes to hack it, and he would make it attack another one with an ice blast as it would kill itself as the Deku would be attacking robot after robot until he racked up, I say, about 276 points as Deku he would just slack off as he wanted to take a nap as Deku would just go into this building and just watch everything go down as Deku was about to shut his eyes as he hears somebody screech, help me, as Deku would say, oh man, as he would just ice teleport next to where he heard to help me as it will be Uraraka as Deku uses his wind to pick up the rubble and toss it as Deku would use his wind to lift Uraraka and take her to recovery girl as Deku then releases his wind, Uraraka drops to the ground. Deku would then call his sword as it would teleport as Deku would then just sit there floating, and a few people was watching him as Deku raises his hand and he starts to move his hand up. The blade would slice up sideways. The blade would go swipe left as he would just be doing that, making a whole bunch of diagonal, vertical, horizontal cuts, dicing the 0 pointer into a bunch of little pieces as all the pieces would fall to the ground as everybody would be cheering for Deku as Deku would just say, oh, there's no need as he would just ice teleport there like out of there as Deku he would then arrive home as that's where I'm gonna leave this one off. I hope you guys liked it and enjoyed. I hope my audio isn't too bad. I love you all. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace and deuces.